Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from where you're speaking. And welcome to today's another senhasegura webinar titled Cybersecurity in the Middle East, Protecting Cloud Identities with PAM. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. We really appreciate the time that you spent to stay with us. My name is David Muniz, and today we are going to dive into a critical discussion on improving cloud security through privileged access management solutions. And in today's sessions, we are going to give a special focus on the deployment of senhasegura in Google Cloud Platform and also senhasegura's cloud capabilities, specifically our cloud infrastructure entitlements management solution. So we see business increasingly moving their operations to the cloud. So understanding how to manage and how to secure privileged access has never been so important. And we are very privileged to have here with us a panel of esteemed experts. So first, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Felipe Pires from Senhasegura. Hey, Felipe, how are you, my friend?
Hello, David. How's it going? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. It's a pleasure to be here once again to talk with this amazing guys, Salin, Saber, and you, and all the attendees. And yeah, I'm threat research and cybersecurity advocate at Senhasegura, and we are here to talk about, this kind of challenge that we have in cloud. So it's a pleasure again. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. We also have Salim Baras, who is a cloud Google expert, and he will share insights into the cloud infrastructure topics and also security best practices. Hey, Salim, how are you? Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to this webinar.
Thank you. Hello, all. Thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Excellent. So today, our session today is structured to provide everyone with insights on deploying PAM solution, and specifically, we will focus on our senhasegura 360 privilege platform in cloud environments. We're going to explore the cybersecurity landscape, the challenges that are associated with PAM, and also we'll give you a live demonstration showing how senhasegura effectively help protecting your environments against cyber threats. So we encourage you to use the Q&A session to ask your questions. Our experts, we answer them at the end of the presentation. So once again, thank you for joining. And without further ado, let's begin our journey and how to simplify cybersecurity. And I give the word to you, Salim, so you can start.
Thank you, David. Let me share my screen.
I think we lost Salim.
Yeah, he's back online.
Yes, he's back. Let me put him back with us. Sorry, everyone. Hey, Salim, are you back? There you
Yeah.
are.
Oh, okay. Share. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you all. It is really a pleasure for me to be with you on today session. Talking about cloud security and cloud security and risk, it is one of the hot topic at these years, especially with the adoption of the cloud services. Before that, I would like to shed some light about what's going here and especially in the region and Saudi Arabia. As we know, the National Transformation Program, which is one of the pillar of the Vision 2030, encourage like Saudi Arabia to be the hub, the digital hub in the region. For that reason, we have seen in the last 3 years, many of the hyperscaler, either they already launched their services or announcing their starting working to build a region in Saudi Arabia. So in the last year, as we all know, that Google launched their region in Saudi Arabia. Also, beginning of this year, Oracle announced to build the third region in Saudi Arabia, where Oracle Cloud has been here in the market since a couple of years. Also, this year at Leap event, probably 2 months back, AWS as well announced their opening a region in Saudi Arabia. The same thing as well, Microsoft last year at Leap as well announced as well starting building the Saudi region or Microsoft Cloud Saudi region. Also, as we know, Alibaba 3 years back as well, they launched their public cloud services in the region. So we can see most of the hyperscalers, either they already have a presence in Saudi and or they are going to start in the coming 12 or 18 months. And not only the hyperscaler, we have seen as well many of the SaaS provider as well now they have a presence and they provide their services from Saudi Arabia like Odoo and many ERP services as well other services like ServiceNow. They announced they are building their services, cloud services in the region. So we can see that hyperscaler and also leading SaaS provider already started or they will be operating in Saudi Arabia in the coming 12 to 18 months. And of course, I would like to mention as well why this moving and why this huge adoption of cloud services, because as we all know, there are or many benefits using cloud services, and I put some of like accelerate time to market, especially as we are living in a competitive time where if we have a new idea for our businesses, we want to be the first to launch it in the market. The market doesn't give us right now time to wait that we purchase the servers and infrastructure. For that reason, cloud become essential for moving and to be fast to the market in terms of launching or bring new services to our customers or to our consumer. Also, of course, I want to mention the flexibility in the cloud services and agility, and also the business continuity that cloud giving to us. In the last 3 or 4 years, the adoption of the cloud services in Saudi Arabia started, and as you can see in the report, this expansion, it will be doubled in the coming years, because many organizations see the value that cloud bring to them. Also, in terms of the SaaS services, as you can see at your right hand, in the coming years, the utilization of SaaS and the market size of the SaaS services, it will be almost doubled in the coming years. So there is huge demand in the overall cloud services, and organization realize the value that cloud services bring to their businesses. Also, I want to mention in the beginning or in the introduction of this slide about multi-cloud, when we're talking about cloud, it become essential as well to talk about multi-cloud, because also the organization found the benefit of using multi-cloud. For example, today I can use some services from one of the cloud provider, but I can as well use different services for in other cloud provider. And as we can see that almost 81% of the organization adopting multi-cloud approach. Having said that, with the all benefit that cloud bring for the organizations, it come with many risks. It come with many challenges that today we would like to highlight major ones. And so we can take attention when we during our journey migrating to cloud services. So first one of the study mentioned that around 95% of the organization still concern about cloud security, because as we know, cloud in terms of designing the infrastructure, in terms of implementing the technical security control, somehow it varies than the on-prem, where in the on-prem we will have our external firewall or perimeter firewall, which block everything moving out. So we have full control about what's going and what is moving. Where in the cloud services, of course, we need to implement the depth and defense approach. However, configuration in the cloud services that allow virtual machine to bypass many controls in the cloud services. So for that reason, still 95% of the organization concern about cloud security. Another also research, which is cost of data breach report from IBM. The report mentioned that around 82 of breaches in the last year involved data stored in the cloud, which is really scary number or percentage when you look on it. Another also report or study found that 80% of the organization experience at least one cloud security in the last years, which is again a big number and high percentage, which really show you that there is really a gap in terms of cloud security and moving and adopting cloud services. Another report also from Flexera regarding the top challenges for organization. And this study was across different organization in terms of the level enterprise and different industry in the enterprise and also SMEs. And we can see that security is the second top cloud challenges. Of course, in the previous 11 years, security was number one. However, now still security is one of the top two challenges for organization adopting cloud services. Another also figure that I wanted to share with you, which is regarding the cloud misconfiguration in the last year. Cloud configuration was responsible about 11% of overall attack, which is again a big number in terms of cloud security. Another also challenge regarding cloud services, if you can see here the cloud misconfiguration, the time to identify and contain cloud security takes almost 9 months to identify and contain a security incident in the cloud space, which is really big time to cover and protect and close this finding. As we discussed in the beginning as well about multi-cloud and how it is important for organization and helping organization to balance the cost and get the full value from all hyperscaler and cloud services. However, there is effect or impact on that one. If you can see in the left side, 39% of the attack happening in an organization having multi-cloud approach. Not only about the percentage, but also if you look in the right hand as well, that the data breach, when it is in the multiple environment, it costs a lot the organization, and also it take a longer time. So if you can see here across multiple cloud environment, it takes to identify and contain a breach around 291 days for the organization. Another also report from the Cloud Security Maturity report as well, it shows that 81 of the organization lack the visibility of the environment. And for us, the security and IT people in this industry, we know that since long time that you cannot protect what you don't see. And you cannot defend and control things that you don't have visibility. And visibility with adopting cloud services, it become more challenges, right? Because you have different cloud environments, so it need to expand the visibility. So 81 of the organization lack full visibility in terms of their cloud services and assets. Another also study found that around 50% of the organization, at least quarter of their breaches were related to access management, which is really clear, right? Because in our on-prem, we implement the identity access management to protect our assets. And then when we move to the cloud, organization found it difficult to either to expand their security controls, or sometimes they rely on the cloud provider access management. However, as an organization, to have full visibility and full control on access and who has access and what type of privilege of access, it is also a challenge for organizations to have it. For that reason, we can see that half of the organization report this challenge. And last but not the least is the lack of the cloud strategy or cloud security strategy or cloud or multi-cloud security strategy. Because of the beauty of the cloud services and easy to provision and easy to go, sometime in our strategy or organization in their cloud strategy, we neglect the cloud security aspect about it. So sometime, especially with the adoption and with the digital transformation that we have, and we want to be the first in the market, we go and first in specific hyperscaler, or we go to other hyperscaler and we launch it, but without a blueprint for our organization and without clear cloud security strategy for their movement. So the lack of cloud security strategy it become a challenge for many organizations moving and adopting cloud services. After having a look about high level about major cloud security challenges and risk, I would like also here to share with you like high level steps to be taken and to be considered during your journey in adopting cloud services, whether it is IaaS or PaaS or SaaS services. We have listed some main important aspects that we believe it's really important when you're considering moving to cloud services. First of all, is to develop a clear cloud strategy or a clear multi-cloud strategy. What is our security controls that need to be expanded to the cloud? Do we need to change the current security control to adopt our moving to the cloud? Do you need different security controls and cloud services to be protected? Another also point, which is the risk assessment for our environment or for our moving to the cloud. Risk assessment will clarify for us any risk related moving to that particular hyperscaler or using that SaaS services or moving our workload to specific PaaS provider. And another point which is implemented identity and access management, as we have seen in the previous slide, that a big number, around 50% of the organization face a challenge of the identity access management. So this area, it's really critical because as we said, now using the cloud, there is no perimeter anymore. Your customer and your user and your developers, they can access the cloud anytime and anywhere. So the access management and the privilege access management need to be studied and assigned based on the business need. Encryption data, when it is at rest, or if it is in transit, also this is one of important area because adopting multi-cloud, moving data from one public cloud to on-prem or to private cloud, we need to make sure that the data is encrypted so no one can sniff these data. Another point regarding protecting the endpoint, as we know, moving to the cloud, especially in IaaS services, protecting the endpoint, it is our responsibility and not the cloud service provider. Last, and this one is to understand the security shared responsibility model with the cloud service provider. And I want also to share also some examples here, especially during my time building the public cloud services. We found that there is misconception in this area where some customer or some organization believe that you as a service provider or cloud service provider or Google or Amazon, they are fully responsible about security of the cloud. However, each hyperscaler have their own security shared responsibility, where you can see what are the areas that you need to take care and what are the areas that covered by the service provider. Of course, when you move from IaaS as a service to PaaS and then to SaaS, the responsibility become less and reduce in the organization, and it become more in the hyper scaler. Thank you, gents, for joining. This was a brief and high level about some major security challenges that we have seen in the last 2 years. And I wish that this information, it shed some light to make sure that your journey to cloud services secure. And here we are at IS and at our partner as well. We are ready to support you in this journey from different level in terms of the assessment moving to cloud, and also having the right security controls in order to be secure. Thank you, gents. And I will move to David now.
Excellent.
Thank you, Salim.
Thank you very much, Salim. I think what Salim has brought how identity is also needed to the cloud. He mentioned that 50 or more % of data breaches occur into the exploitation of credentials. And also something that also caught my attention is how data breaches that are associated with identity also costs more than other data, costs more and takes more time to be detected and respond than other data breaches. Now, I think you're able to see my screen. Now I'm going to introduce why privileged access management is essential to cloud security. So we've been seeing a movement of migration movement to from trust but verify models to zero trust base. So we see Gartner's Carta, Google's Beyond Corp, and this movement to zero trust has been intensified with the COVID-19 pandemic. So when we talk about PAM, what are the features that what PAM offers to protect cloud environments? So first we have centralized access control. So a PAM solution and privileged access management provides a centralized management of the privileged accounts to ensure that only the right people have the right access to perform the right actions into cloud-based resources and infrastructure. We also have reduced insider threats. So when we talk about zero trust and when we talk about spread environments and remote people, people working from remote locations. So the threats can be from everywhere. So monitoring and controlling privileged access allows cybersecurity and organizations to mitigate the risks that are associated with insider threats. And this is one of the major security concerns in cloud environments. Well, we've seen an increase of data privacy regulation and also cybersecurity regulation. So PAM solution also helps meeting compliance requirements like KSA, SEMA as well. And PAM also offers detailed audit trails and logs of every privileged activity, which is crucial for data protection regulations. We also have prevention of data breaches. Whenever using PAM controls, organizations can prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data that are stored in the cloud and reduces the risks of data breaches. We also have advanced threat detection. So PAM usually incorporate advanced analytics to detect and alert unusual or potentially harmful activities. Least privilege is one of the greatest challenge for organization. It's difficult to assign the right privilege to the right people. Usually we have standing privileges, so people are moving forward in the organizations and their privileges are not revised. So PAM helps enforcing the principle of the least privilege and ensures that users have only the right access to perform their activities. The result is that PAM helps minimizing the attack surface, which means that the ways that a malicious attacker can use privilege is reduced. We also have automated credential management. So, and reduces this, how PAM reduces the amount of manual work to manage credentials, to manage passwords, to manage access rights. So this reduces the risks that are associated with manual handling and human error. PAM also helps securing remote access, and this is especially important in a world with increasing remote work. So we have people working from everywhere. So PAM provides secure and control access to cloud environments regardless of the user's location. We also have scalability and flexibility. So whenever using a PAM, it helps you scale with the cloud environments, providing security that adapts to the way that, well, and business change very frequently, and the way that people operate also change very frequently. So a PAM solution adapts on these changing needs and growing infrastructure. And last but not least, PAM also is essential to integrate with other security solutions, with CIEM, with other identity and access management solutions, with other cloud protection solutions. So this creates a cohesive and robust security posture for cloud environments. When you talk about PAM challenges, I think the main one is exactly what Salen said. It's impossible to protect what you don't know. So the discovery and management of all privileged access is a challenge for most organizations. Also, the problem is that the lack of control over privileged credential prevents governance in information security, and that increases the attack surface. The solution to properly manage all privileged credentials can create the authentication, authorization, and also governance process for your users. And before you ask me, and that's not me who is saying that, that's Gartner specialists, it's impossible to manage privileged access risks both on premises, both on cloud and on the cloud without specialized PAM solutions. However, implementing PAM can be really complex and costly from both time and culture perspective. So PAM solutions involve a wide range of areas. It's not just IT, it's not just cybersecurity. Privileged access is used company-wide. So we have accounts payable, we have finance that are using, for example, an ERP system. So we're not just talking about IT. And this can add significant complexity to the environment. And that can be also a barrier to adoption, particularly if the if the solutions are not user-friendly or require extensive training to be used effectively. And organizations may hesitate to adopt solutions that could, for example, disrupt their workflows or require change management efforts. I said before that the principle of least privilege is effectively a challenge. So evaluate the right privilege for the users is a challenge for organizations. Now talking about the benefits of PAM. Well, PAM improves security, increases the level of security, especially in privileged access. PAM solutions can improve compliance, make many regulations and many data privacy laws. They have specific controls to manage privileged access in assets. PAM can also reduce the risks of insider threats. So by managing what the user is doing, why the user is doing, you are able to reduce the chance of an insider to explore privileges to perform their malicious activities. And finally, operational efficiency. PAM solutions can automate privileged access management activities. For example, many ticket supports are associated with access, password reset. So a PAM solution can improve the time that is spent on managing privileged access. Now, when talking about choosing a PAM provider, which capabilities should organizations consider when choosing their PAM solution? So first, we're going to talk about the basic capabilities. So pretty much vault and rotate the password, discover all the access in the environment, both on premises and both on cloud. So we're talking specifically about cloud. So I'm going to focus on the cloud. Privilege access governance, what the user is doing, session management, so we can a PAM solution can record and manage all sessions that are performed, and also log every activity that is performed in the environment. When you talk about advanced capabilities, we're talking about just-in-time PAM, remote clientless access, as we said before, auditing everything that has been done in the privileged session. And now we've been seeing an emerging needs for PAM in multi-cloud environments to protect multi-cloud environments, secrets management, zero standing privilege, and also DevOps, including CI/CD automation. So we already know that implementing PAM is not easy. So the question is, what security and risk management leaders must do to succeed in their PAM programs? So first of all, define their unique PAM requirements, to align it with business risks and also risk appetite. So understand what are their PAM use cases, but all the PAM accounts, including not only people, but also machine accounts as well. Map those use cases against the PAM functionality in the market and select a vendor shortlist for a proof of concept, and finally, selecting effectively their tool. Involve IT and security teams. And also, as I said before, deploy specialized PAM tools. Now that we've covered the challenges and also what should you consider to choose your PAM provider, I'm going to introduce senhasegura 360 privilege platform. And who is senhasegura? So senhasegura is currently available in more than 62 countries across all continents. And we believe that by taking the complexity from PAM, our solution is able to be deployed in minutes with easy to use and fastest time to value. And we think of the customer throughout the whole throughout their whole PAM journey. So from the product development, and Felipe will be able to talk about how we engage with our users to develop our PAM solution through our support and service. And Senhasegura has the highest evaluation rate at Gartner Peer Insights, and we also have received the Customer's Choice badge for 3 times, and the last one in 2024. Not only overall, but also for mid-sized enterprises. And our solution is divided in 5 main initiatives. So we have the accounting session, the remote access management, we have privilege elevation delegation management, and of course, we have our multi-cloud approach with Cloud IAM and our cloud infrastructure entitlements management. And why should you choose Senhasegura? Well, first of all, as we've seen during our webinar, it's impossible to manage what you don't know. Senhasegura offers best-in-class discovery capabilities recognized by the market that results in the maximum level of visibility and maximum level of security. Senhasegura also offers not only user identities, but Senhasegura also protects machine identities. And we also offer an exclusive certificate lifecycle management solution. Senhasegura automatically audits every privilege action that is performed in the environment. Our service team is very well evaluated. We have the highest score for support and service, and our team works to ensure successful deployment for every company that we act. And finally, our intuitive interface makes PAM simple. That's our main goal, to make protecting privileged credential intuitive and easy to be done. Now I hand over to you, Felipe, for you to rock with the demonstration.
Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you so much, everyone. So I have this just to remind the people that we have a Q&A button here. So if you have any question, I am seeing here some questions about if the presentations will be, if you can send to the attendees. Actually, I don't know, but I think yes, it's possible to send the people.
Yes, of course it is possible to do that.
Yes, totally. Nice. And we have 2 questions here, more about the technical questions about how would an administration system or network, for example, access the resource like a server suite if the PAN servers go down. Excellent questions. Our recommendation is always to work in high availability, and I will show you something like this. This is one of the advantages that we have with Senhasegura, because for the license perspective, for example, you don't need to pay for the high availability. You have the included in our. We like to say that in Senhasegura we don't have any trick. It means that you pay for everything that you want, and you can install, and that's it. Okay, so that's the point about that. So we have a high availability. So if one of these services going down, the another will be up. Okay, and the other question, if the administration keeps the PAN client, actually we don't need our solution is that the most part of our solution is agentless. Okay, and I can explain more about that, but usually it's agentless, so you don't need to put in the client, and all research is recorded, as David mentioned. I know that's a challenge, and basically, so we have many different capabilities in the product. Let me share my screen here. 1 second, because I need to put you in this right side here, and I will share my screen. When I'm looking for my right side here, because I'm looking for another monitoring, okay? Just because I like this. 1 second. Let me share a screen I found here. The desktop one is here, and select share. Okay, I think you can see my screen here. So just as you can see here is just a simple OVA, okay, that you can see in my virtual machine. So basically to implement in senhasegura, you just need to have the OVA, okay? It means that this virtual machine is totally hardened. It means that we have a Linux platform. Because of that, the cost of the implementation is too cheap when you compare to another, okay? Even if you use it, for example, in the cloud. Let me share here this specifically slide here. 1 second. You saw this specific slide that David showed. So our solution is agentless unless this one is a Go endpoint manager. For this specifically is a PDM. So the privilege endpoint management escalation. So for these solutions, you need to escalate privilege. And here I would like to share this information that is important. The benefits to using SaaS, because in the senhasegura Google Cloud, and not only Google Cloud, but whatever cloud provider you have, we have two different possibilities to implementing. One of these is self-hosted, and the second one is a SaaS. Okay, it's one of the benefits of the SaaS. And if you talk about, for your manager, for your C-level, or, your coordinator, is the cost of saving. Okay, and the other hand is easy to use. One of the questions was about, availability. If you use SaaS, for example, is another benefits, because in this case, you don't need to pay for the infrastructure in the cloud. Okay, so that's another advantage when you're using the cloud. So we have two possibilities again. So the public SaaS and private SaaS, you can use in whatever you want. And why senhasegura private SaaS you can use it again? We just need to require several control to install on the customer network. It's simple to do it, and I just have here some slides to demonstrate this. This is a simple self-hosted. The architecture, as I mentioned to you, basically you can again upload this virtual machine as I show you here in my virtual machine here. Okay, so you can upload this version, for example, in the cloud, self-hosted. And of course, in this case, in GCP, you have some regulations that can help you. You can do this, okay? And you have all management inside of your environment. And the other possibility is to use it in a SaaS platform. Okay, so in your network, you just need to using this Docker. Is not if you see here, you don't have any agent here, and in the platform, you just need to using this our Docker host, the connector. This will be responsible for connecting in the whole network inside of your environment. Okay, so this is our possibilities. So again, just to clarify, self-hosted, you can use it in Google platform, or if you prefer, you can use in our SaaS solution. Okay, and let me return here. I have here just the full vision of the platform. Okay, if you see here, our idea when you talk about the PAM is to have one single console to manage everything. That's our idea when we talk about the senhasegura. So they've mentioned many benefits about senhasegura. One of these benefits, for example, is the discovery. You don't need to pay for it. That's the point here, for example, is included in our license. In some vendors, you need to pay to do this discovery. Or on the other hand, for some other functions, you need to pay for connectors. That's the nice point when you talk about the senhasegura, for example. So if you talk here in discovery, we can perform and specifically discovery in your environment, and you can check about the secrets and keys, tokens, and whatever. Okay, so if I go here in credentials, for example, I can type here to find, for example, any GCP account. Just I can go, for example, here, clicking domain, and it's simple to identify the credentials. For example, let me put in this image here, and to check the environment. We have more than one here, but let me try find here any other GCP, for example, account. Let me go below here. We have more than one here. Just to show you one simple example. If you have here, for example, GCP website, for example, just for demonstration, okay? So here we have availability to recording, to see the recording session. For example, I just click in here and they will record. Or if I need here as well, let me here, let me do some movement here because I cannot see here, okay? I can, for example, just click in here. If I need to recover the password, for example, I just click in here and I can recover the password, okay? So if you see here, this is the session, okay? And probably you can see here below, the session will be recorded. So the other, one of the questions, it was if how this works in the senhasegura environment. So each session will be recorded. So sometimes we need to interact with that, for example, like I'm clicking here, for example, you know, so to go for all the steps, it's totally integrated in this case. So it's super easy to confirm, you know, the security. Traffic lights, let me click here and okay, you see it's very safe. And bicycle, this is bicycle, this is bicycle, bicycle, this is bicycle, yeah, it's another bicycle. I think that's it for today. Yes, and I can click next. And if you see here, the session will be recorded. So now this is the password. I can recover here, just clicking here, recover the session. And as a simple like this, you know, it's very simple. And you can see here, we have many different products inside of our main core product, you know. Again, so remember the picture that we showed you is a base about the 360 vision of the solution. Senhasegura is not only Vault. It's very important to understand that we can help you to bring you this idea of the zero trust culture to help you with identities. That's the important thing about Senhasegura. We can help you, for example, to manage a certificate. We can help with our secrets, our token, when you talk about the CI/CD pipeline, okay? And we can manage it, for example, the cloud EIM identities to provide something, okay? That's the point. And just to go to the finish, to the end, I would like to show you another project that we are working now. This is super interesting. Let me click here. This is one. Let me check here. Is this one? Okay. This is a super nice project. Let me just 1 second, because I have the Zoom here not helping me, and I need to put in below here just to click. 1 second. No. Okay, no problem. This is the feature of senhasegura that I would like to show you here. I will click in home here, and if you see, this is the feature of our project. Okay, we call it cloud security platform. If you see here, the similar name, okay, PAM core, as you can see here in our on our platform. You can see here, for example, the MySafe, Domo remote access. You can see here, for example, MySafe, Domo remote access. This is the future of our project. So we are building this platform now, okay? But of course, when we create something, since the beginning, since in the scratch, we're creating this specifically cloud entitlement platform. This is a super nice project, okay? And by the way, this is a free project that we are working now. And our idea is to provide a visibility in the cloud, mainly, for example, in GCP. This is then our main topic. When you click here, you just click in here and you receive this free access, and this is specifically tenant. If you see here my page, you can see here that you are in the sandbox mode. What that means, Felipe? Basically, this is a simple template, okay, that you can use in your environment just to check. to see how this tool works. And I will explain now what is exactly this specifically platform, okay? And if you want after that to integrate with your cloud environment, your GCP, you just click here and you can integrate with your GCP. Super easy, just click here in connect in this side or clicking setup in this another side here and GCP platform. And by the way, if you click here in Google Platforms, it's so simple to integrate. If you see here, is you just need to have a simple specifically level of the privilege. Like, for example, how to connect in the platform. If you see here, the EIM service is just account list. You don't need to write nothing. List, get. It means that you don't need to write anything in your environment. It means that you don't need to pay anything to using this tool. Nothing to create, because sometimes when you have other solutions looking from the visibility in the cloud, sometimes you need to give the right permissions to write something in the cloud. And because of that, you need to pay for it. In our case, it's just list, because we are collecting informations just to read. And after that, we can bring you this information, this visibility, and these recommendations about security. Basically, this is one of our project. It's a KIM, as David Muniz mentioned. Is a KIM. It means the Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management. It's the management of the entitlement in the cloud. So basically, to integrate with your GCP, you just set this bunch of permissions, and after that, provide the key service account will be created. And after that, you can enable the API Google GCP project, the Research and Manager API, AAM API, and Cloud Access API. You just copy and paste here. Or if you are a technical guy, you just upload here the JSON key file. And after 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, but the 4 minutes, the product will be, your environment will be integrated with this platform, okay? And if you see here, we can, let me show you some interesting informations. So here we have a functions called Cloud Health. And by the way, one of the points that Silent mentioned is about the misconfigurations in the cloud challenge, okay? And the movement, so how when we have them on-premise and to move into the cloud, we have this kind of challenge. So the question is, how is the health of your environment? So if you click here, you can see how is the health of your cloud environment based on your identities. So because again, as a challenge, you know, you have many identities, you have many rules, you have many permissions. So how you can see, how you can improve your security posture, that's the point here, based on identity. Because based on the identity, the attacker can escalate the privilege in your environment. They can install your data. They can expose your company. That's the point here. Because of that, we need to check this. And if you go here to identities in the left side here, you can check here for whatever, for example, provider you have. In this case, GCP, for example, we can see service account. We can see, for example, users, and you can go suggest you from recommendations. But Felipe, where is the place? Where is the place that you can check the recommendation? It based on here security policies. Okay, so if I click here in security policy, for example, you can go the global security policies. I can click here on GCP, as you can see, and take a look the suggestion of the security. For example, our project will check about the administrator privilege to check the users and service account. Verify if the principal has the owner. You know that's the owner in GCP is the high level technical, the high privilege in the cloud. Of course, this is just a template. You can change the template if you want. It depends of the compliance of our company. For example, here we can check, for example, basic rules, and the criticality is totally custom if you prefer, or it depends of how you get implementing this in your environment, okay? They will check, for example, service account user rule, for example. They will check service account token create rule, verify if the principal has the service account token created rule granted. Okay, so that's the key. And this is a very nice information, service account key lifetime, because think with me. So sometimes in cloud environment, let me give an example. We have a market team, and the market team need to create a specifically promotion or advertisement about the company. Okay, so they need to create a specifically page called the landing page. Okay, that we need to put in some informations about that. Like our webinar is a landing page, you can put your data there. So, but the team responsible for provide this is a developer team. And sometimes the developer need to create this for a certain time, like 2 weeks, for example. So the developer will create this and for example, infrastructure as a code, because it's more cheaper, for example, and they created this specifically user, they create the account, and they create the live key, the live key, they create the secret and key for just 2 weeks. Remember, because the webinar or the advertisement will be a shortened time, and after that, usually they use the developer use an infrastructure as a code because they can go putting down the infrastructure. They don't need to pay for it, but the key continue to be there. That's the problem, because the service account is linked with this key. And if this key is exposed, so the attacker can have an access with this key and they can do something malicious. That's the key. So based on the security policies, we can bring you the recommendations. What kind of recommendations, Philippe? If you click here in recommendations, we can bring you, for example, very different recommendations. For example, let me go, for example, in this another lab here. And let's suppose, for example, about this one, access key lifetime. If I click here, take a look at this. We'll have more than 92 users with this problem, if you see here. So you can do a force task to adjust each one of these identities, okay? To adjust and to changing this specifically. Users, okay? So we have a recommendations based on the specifically cloud providers. When you see, for example, identities, we can check, for example, if the users using, for example, let me go to the sandbox mode again. We can click here, for example, in the user. You can check, for example, the recommendations. In this case, this user has the administrator privilege. Here is our recommendations, how the user can changing this in the cloud. They can access, for example, GCP console. They need to edit the principal, and they can go to define the predefined rule. Or if the users don't know, they can click in documentations. Will be redirected to the GCP reference here, how they can create this. Of course, is in Portuguese because I am Brazilian, but I can put in here, for example, in English. If I want, for example, I will have all reference here, okay? And if I would like to accept the risk, I can just click in here and accept the risk, but it's not recommended. And we have here general informations about this specifically service account. For example, custom rule, if the user creates some specifically custom rule, what kind of service is linked with these specifically users. And for now, we are developing the access path. That means the way that what kind of path we have. I think in this cases, I just have the problem with this specifically, but I have here another example in my lab, for example, about this specifically map, just to show you how is this access path here. This is the map, the visualization that you can check, that you can see about the users, for example. This is a super nice view because I can check, for example, each service never accessed for this user, for example, like this one, for example. And if I click here and create policy, for example, I can see the path used by the attacker, for example, if you explore these specifically actions, okay? And I think this for this webinar, this demonstration, Dave and everyone. I think we have two questions. One of these is about the senhasegura Go support Windows 11. And I don't know exactly this answer for now, but I suppose that yes. If I'm wrong, we can check, but I think it's supported.
Yes, Felipe, senhasegura supports all Windows flavors, not for personal
Yeah.
and also Windows servers versions.
Okay. Another question is in the reference to question 1. You are trying to say is that if we purchase a primary PAN, the secondary PAN comes free of cost. Yes, exactly. The high availability is not charged. Okay. So Saber is here and they can talk about the prices, but I think is exactly right, Saber, and that's the point. So we don't.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't have any trick. You know, that's the big advantage when you talk about the senhasegura. You know, for example, when you choose senhasegura, everything is there. Okay, you don't need to pay. Okay, now you need to pay something extra. And that's it, guys.
Thank you very much, Felipe. It was really insightful. And I'm sure that all the participants have enjoyed your presentation. And if there are more questions from Salem, from anybody else, we'll love to answer.
I think we don't have any questions, Sabe. Before we end the webinar, do you have any words for our audience before we close the session?
Well, I would like to thank you everyone first for the presenters and also the audience, whoever able to join and whoever not able to join, you can reach out to me to get a copy or get an access to this webinar. And for more discussion on the PAM, how we can help you in onboarding on the GCP in terms of protecting the privileged identities in the cloud, myself, my colleague, everyone is here to help you. And please contact us through any means that you know, and we are here to help you guys. Thank you once
Excellent.
again, David, Salem, and of course, Felipe.
Thank you very much, everyone. Well, I think we are running out of time, but I would like to thank you, Felipe, for the demonstration. Thank you, Salem, for the insights about cloud. Very happy to have you all here. And if you had any question, you can reach us to us. Okay?
Yeah, I have one last question. So one of our attendees asked about how I can gain the hands-on experience. I think we can talk with Saber. They can help you to have this hands-on experience or a POC to put in practical. It's super easy again, as I mentioned, and you just receive an OVA. You can test in the host, you know, in the cloud, or if you prefer using SaaS, or if you would like to use, for example, a KIM, you can reach me out in this case. Or you can talk with Saber and Saber talk to me about the KIM.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and here is the link also from Matthews that you can request the demo. You can reach out to me and we can arrange that accordingly.
Exactly.
And our partner Innovative Solution is here. They are a certified partner who can actually give you a live demo, or if it is something that you want to test, and then the GCP on-premises POC. They have a quite capable team in Innovative Solution who are a partner, and they can really make sure that they give you a complete package and give you the full visibility on the PAM and overall surrounding IAM portfolio.
I have pasted on
Amazing.
the chat box the link for to request demo. So senhasegura.com/demo, and our representatives will immediately take a look on that. Okay.
Amazing.
So thank you once again, everyone. Look
Thank
forward
you
to the
all.
next webinar or in the communication later on to me. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a nice week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Saber, Dave, everyone. See you in the next webinar.
See you.